Welcome friends, homophobes, racists, misogynists, proud Albanians and gypsy crusaders, to another video by yours truly, the majestic power Chud. Today, I'm going to be ripping into those that watch PJ Masks. It's gonna be a wild one. So, what exactly is PJ Masks? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a cartoon, intended for children but watched by many questionable adults. The show is intended and aimed specifically for the ages 4 to 12. What kind of gratification would an adult get from watching a show specifically for extremely young people? For many pedophiles it's a gateway, a conversation opener, something they can have in common with a child. It can, and is, deemed as extremely predatory behavior. So, who is subject number 2? Sonic, also known to many simply as Pablo. For the sake of this video we will call him Sonic, to keep things a lot simpler. Now, what could possibly be wrong with this simple guy, this normal guy, this slightly strange guy? Well, he has a deep dark secret that he hides from virtually everyone, and something that he has even begun to believe himself, which I feel is even more tragic. He's always ranting and raving about his wife, and, despite us never actually seeing her, she is apparently very real. Now, I like everybody else have my doubts, as there are a few pointers as to why I don't actually believe his lover is a real person, but is in fact himself on an alternate account. Once you start noticing little things, it all begins to make more sense. So, who is his so-called lover? Well, we never actually see her, hear her, or even know her first name. A little odd, wouldn't you say? All we have to go on is the name Amaya, or Owlette, which is of course a character in PJ Masks. Now, what is even more bizarre is in the show, Amaya is 6 years old. Is it normal to be in a so-called role-play relationship with a character that is 6 years old? Hell no, and don't let anybody tell you different. Now to our pointers that his so-called wife might not be a real person. First off, we have this image here. Now in an ordinary circumstance I would write this off as just a couple sharing their accounts. While morally wrong, it occasionally happens and is considered fairly normal. But with there being nothing normal about this relationship, I'm simply going to suggest this hypothesis. He owns the account, makes all the posts, films all the videos, types all the messages, maybe even, as sad as this sounds, messages and replies to himself. Owlette's channel is also rather strange in that she never posts content of herself. Now this could be rooted in insecurity, which is fairly normal. Not wanting to show your face online is something I can understand, given the context. But the uploads are all fairly similar to Sonic's, in that they record using the same devices and edit with the same programs. But in his IRL videos at home, we never even hear her, we only ever hear his family members. I think Amaya has had enough of the spotlight, so let's return to Sonic. He frequently walks around the park late at night screaming obscenities at his phone while recording videos. People he walks past that make comments are referred to as haters, further replicating the idea that he dehumanizes those around him and is completely detached from real-world activities many would deem fairly normal. His day-to-day life is almost methodical, like a machine, a robot. His everyday life is filled with the same mundane activities that any normal person would get extremely bored of, myself included. So I have to come to the decisive conclusion that Sonic is perhaps a psychopath and schizophrenic, believing people who aren't real exist and treating those around him like human garbage. This kind of behavior is seen very early on in the lives of people who go on to commit heinous acts of crime. While I'm not suggesting he will do that, it is completely, and totally, a possibility. But to shed light on this, I'm sure everything is perfectly normal, and that there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Except maybe that. Well, I hope you enjoyed our small 5-minute dive into the life of Sonic. I hope I piqued your curiosity. Stay tuned for more. I'm sure I can find more morons on Instagram to target. Until next time.